Hi. Well, several weeks behind schedule, it is now time to bed out the sweet peas. So if you're growing along with me, or whether you're growing along several weeks behind me, or you've chosen to go ahead and you're actually now ahead of me and I'm now growing along with you, having been hardened off and the weather now finally lifted, it is time to get the sweet peas out of the cold frame and start getting them into the ground. They should now look something along like this. Really good, solid little plants that, having been tipped out, have now produced 2 or 3 nice strong shoots. They're now starting to produce the first of the tendrils, which is a really good sign that it's actually time to bed them out. If your sweet peas do look like this, don't be afraid of going over them once again and just tipping out the very top with your forefinger and thumb, and just take those shoots out. The more times you do that at this stage, the bigger, stronger and bushier the plant will be, and the more flowers it will produce. Now, a commercial sweet pea grower will now tell you to go over these and cut off the tendrils. Now, if you're going for wedding production or cut flower production, that is something that you can do. It does make actually picking your sweet peas during your harvesting time much easier. For myself, I don't bother. I strongly believe that any part of the plant that's green has the ability to photosynthesize and therefore put energy and power into the plant, fueling its production of flowers. So these are now going to go into the ground. As you can see, nice and solid little green plants. They're going to have another hit of the seed feed as they go in, just to give them a really good kick. And you want to be feeding now around once every 3 or 4 weeks until flowering. And at the flowering point, no matter what time that comes for you, as soon as you get your first buds, you want to be upping that to at least once a week. And as you hit the first major flush of flowers, you want to be feeding them twice a week. So having this on hand is going to be very useful. So to spread the cost of this, I always start ordering this well in advance, and I've got about 5 or 6 litres backed up here because I know that I'm going to be needing it over the next few weeks. I'm going to be using my new heart-shaped trowel from Bergen & Ball, which I absolutely adore, and the sweet peas are going to be going in 1 pot per standing. You saw me create the structure for these several weeks ago, so hopefully you're all organized. And if you're growing along with me in pots, hopefully you've got your pot sorted out with your newspaper in the bottom, your saucer all ready to hand, and you're all set up with a really nice large pot to grow them in. But incidentally, look at the beautiful root growth on them, and this is why we don't ever prick sweet peas out. You grow them in a root train, or in like the other ones that are currently over in the cold frame, they're grown in a toilet roll tube, because lovely strong root growth, and they really do hate being disturbed. So these aren't being divided, these are going straight into the ground, 1 station per plant, and having, or 1 plant per station. And having been hardened off for the last few weeks, don't worry about the weather now. I'm just going to tip those back as well to really bush those up. Don't worry about the weather. The cold frame has now been left open all through the night. They've had lots and lots of weather. They've had lots of wind and rain on them. So they're now very tough. So even if the weather does turn cold, and obviously we can have frosts here in the UK all the way through to the very end of May, they are more than happy to get themselves away now. So they're also gonna get good watering in just a moment. But if you have any queries or questions, you know how to get hold of me. I hope that you've enjoyed the grow along so far. There won't be any further updates now for me for several weeks while these get themselves established and really start climbing. But if you need any help, hints or tips, or any questions answered, you know how to get hold of me. I'll hopefully see you all again soon. Take care now. Bye bye.